starting. Good afternoon and welcome to Focus on
Thank you
Gambia.
so much for having me.
We will not go through a normal introduction. Everybody know you. You are a household in this Gambia, and from Banjul to Queen, everybody know you, your role, what you have played in the Gambia, and what you are continuing to play. What we're going to start with directly to go into the discussion, we just want to know the level of the discussion on the coalition table. Where are we, and where are we heading to?
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Editor. Good to have me. Yes, on the issue of the coalition talks, I am the official spokesperson, and then at this stage where we are looking from 8 August to end the talks. However, we are almost tail end of the talks now. If not, we have almost about 2 to 3 weeks to complete the talks. So at this moment, we are now heading to the deal with the elephant in the room. That is the flag bearer issue. Right now, we are dealing with power sharing within the coalition camps, that is the parties, the entities, how to deal with a power sharing issue. And after that, we are going to deal with the leadership issue, which is the elephant in the room. Who is going to anchor this project? It's a coalition project. The talks are now at the final stages. As I say, we have done a lot of work trying to harmonize the documents, the policy documents, the frameworks, the agreement. We have done the coalition manifesto. We have also done the coalition guiding framework. We also done with the coalition electability criteria. We have also done with the coalition code of conduct. So a lot of documents has already been worked in the past 2 months. So right now we are almost about 2 months to go, where we are now dealing with the finalities of the talks. So we are now going to deal with the elephant in the room. How do we deal with leadership? Either we are going first with consensus, where the leaders agree to choose one to lead this, or we go in a selection process or an election process to a primary level.
Vis-a-vis, what are we talking about here? Are we talking about an independent-led coalition, or we are talking about a party-led coalition?
What has been agreed and voted upon, I repeat that, what has been agreed and voted upon and adopted by the general coalition entities is we are going with an independent-led, candidate-led model, which is the candidate-led for the coalition. It's clear. That is what is voted. That is what is agreed by the coalition themselves. It's not me. I'm just an official spokesperson. But what we have done is that during our part of the process, the proceedings in the last 3-4 sessions, we have dealt with this issue. What type of coalition we want, and generally what has been agreed there and voted upon. And yesterday, our last final meeting, which is the last session, they have adopted that any coalition coming in this coalition talks, we are going to have what they call the candidate-led coalition, which is an independent candidate who we are not going to vote for party callers, and we are not going for any party-led coalition. It is clear. This is the official position that I can tell you.
We have seen it in the Gambia. We have seen an independent-led coalition which brought Barrow to power, and that didn't work, and everything was scattered. We saw it. We started with the sacking of my party, who was a coalition member, and nothing was done. So if you want to repeat the same 16, do you think it will work?
This is 100% different. This last 2016, the coalition talks did not take 2 months. There's a difference. Coalition talks in 2016 maybe takes less than 2 to 3 weeks, less than 2 weeks. It happens almost under 3 months before the elections. Now remember, with these talks, a lot of wealth of knowledge, a wealth of documents have been done, a lot of agreements have been done. We have taken 2 months, and we have taken Saturdays, a full 8 hours of every Saturday to sit over these documents, and we have treated all the documents well. That's why it's one difference with the coalition 2016. We've learned our lesson. Number 2, yes, it's a successful way we try to get the same kind of formula, which is the candidate-led. What brought Barrow in, it was clear, but how after the post-coalition 2016 was the problem, the management of the process. The difference here is that in this one, in our own coalition talks, which is officially 12 Coalition 2026, which is the official name of the coalition, under this coalition, what is going to happen is that we are saying that anybody who comes, you have to work in consultation with a coalition governance council, that these are the people who are going to be the custodian of the coalition project. It's a project that even before you go and claim that you want to govern through the constitution, you are agreeing with us. And that agreement, I can understand that, as you said, the public betrayal, that I agree to this, and when they are selected and becomes in power, they want to go and do different. This time around, it's not going to happen. Some of us, especially some of us within the team, we have decided that anybody who has come, you have to comply and work according to what was agreed. So what was agreed, we're going to deal with it. It's an issue of trust, because already, before you're thinking of going to swear on the constitution of the Gambia, well, you have to think of those who are going to elect you. Those are your coalition partners. You have to respect them, abide by our terms and conditions. If you cannot do that, well, it's better for you to leave the coalition, because we have been working for almost 2.5 months. For you to just come and dump all those, agreements and claim that you're going to work differently, I think then it's not a project for you. However, I can answer your question to this, that we are ready to even take various actions and various mechanisms that are put in place to cope the betrayal of public trust, to say that I am now going, like what President Barrow did. The example was that he was not supposed to do politics within the time frame that was given in Coalition 2016. He was not supposed to build a party. For us, our project is you are going to come and cleanse the system, build the institutional reforms moving forward. This is the project. We are not selling an individual, and we are not going to do what they call somebody to elect you to nguru, which is to be like, personality cult, or to, come and, squander public wealth.
Yep, okay. Adopt, respect, governing council, good. These are things that are not banned by the constitution or by the parliament of the country. It's not, it has not yet gone through parliament that is adopted as a constitution. It's within the law. It's just a verbal written by a group of you that came together to set up this thing.
Exactly.
Tell me, what would, if the president elected does time go by the governing council, which power do you have to revise or to bring him back to the book?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We are trying to bring mechanisms that can even challenge.
What are those mechanisms?
Those mechanisms involve a panel that we are going to set up, a committee that we're going to set up, because first you have to agree with us. Yes, it's an issue of what you are talking about, the president having...
I understand, agree is one thing. Yeah. Implementation is what we are talking about.
Yeah, even we can take you to subject you to a committee. We can also subject you to what your agreement, that is the people that you agree with. It's different, because we can even subject you to a court. That's where we are also exploring that even if you can deal with an executive that can even waive his immunity. You can deal with an executive that can appoint a power of attorney to deal with you, so that if we were to make sure that there would be a mechanism, that's what I'm saying. If we do that, let me say this clearly. If we do that, it's to make sure some of us, if you betray the public trust, let me make it this simple as it is. There are some of us who says, even particularly myself, if you betray the public trust, we will be the one that will call the public to at least come down to the streets and deal and regain their trust. We're going to do that. So there are also mechanisms and checks and balances that we're going to put in place.
Like Martin, this field, from 3 years to 5 years, we saw a lot of protests in this country. And at the end of the day, nothing changed. It went with the way
this time it's going to be different, because what happened is that, as I say, the person will make it clear to us. We understand, because then if we are not going to do these agreements, these frameworks, it's no use for us to have coalition talks. It's for just somebody to go and say that let's have a flag bearer. This is not the aim. The aim is any person coming, there is a process that you're going to deal with. As I say, the mechanisms, the panel that we're going to take, the disputed panel, you know what I mean, the panel that have to deal with you is there, it's clear.
Okay, look at this. One that the member within the talk is dragging back, and they are demanding for party-led coalition. And they are saying within Africa and within the world, that is the mode of coalition. And they are saying what they're demanding for is party-led coalition. That is the United Democratic Party. What is going on now, and what do you have to say about
Yeah, well, as I say, I mean, what has been agreed is not me. As the spokesperson, what has been told and what I've seen and what I make sure that part of the proceedings that we have is that unanimously, not unanimously, but I can put it that majority of these things, parties and movements that are there, they already agreed and voted for a candidate-led. You know, you can claim a stake, but does it mean that that is the process?
Do you think these people grant is wrong or they are not right? Because what they are saying, they have MPs, they have councillor, they have mayor, they have chairperson, and they have everything. And most of this movement, most of this movement does not have even a single representative within council. And they are saying that because they have everything, they need to be followed.
We recognize, I recognize a stake. I recognize also a quantity. Politics, there is two different things. The quantity and the quality issue. The quantity when it comes to your stake and numbers are there. But quality also when it comes to candidate is a different ball game.
Meaning?
Meaning that, well, it's up to them. I know, I'm just saying...
I don't try to put one into your mouth, but in meaning, what are you trying to say? In short, are you trying to say UDP does not have the quality?
No, I'm not saying UDP. I'm saying that they are the one deciding. Those in the coalition talks, they are the one deciding. I don't want to name no party. What I'm trying to tell you is that the issue here is that they are the one deciding who is going to lead. I am not part of it because I didn't put my heart in the ring. I'm not competing for flag bearer. If I was to compete for flag bearer, I will tell you what my position is. However, I'm saying that as you ask, I recognize that stakes are always there. But in politics, that's what I'm saying, the issue of quantity and quality in everything in our lives is there. They are the one deciding. However, what I can say is that officially what has been decided is that, part of this thing is that candidate-led is the issue, which is that whoever is going to anchor this project, the coalition project, you will have to suspend your candidature with your party or movement, or you will have to resign with your party or movement. This is our strategy. This is what happened in 2016 for us to have a change. So I think most of them in that room, they already agreed that, you understand, they are going by an independent candidate led. So if this is the case,
if they pull out, what next? If the UDP pull out,
well, that is up to them.
Will you still hold on to move on?
We are moving on. It's clear. The project stays. The project is not there for a party, it's not there for a movement. This coalition project talks that we are in, and we are also part of the mediation team and part of the committee that is helping to manage it, to manage their views and, you know, harmonize their policies. We are saying that it's not for any of their parties. This project is for Gambians. So anybody who don't want us this thing with that project, go by the project, you just go. It's not only UDP or UMC or GDC or, you know, DOI or any other party. There are a lot of Gambians there who says that our entities, political entities, this is what they believe. So out of there are a lot of parties. You have almost about 13 to 14 parties. So, and the movements are there. So you may go, but the rest will stay with the project. The project is for Gambians. Virtually, this project is a reform project to the institution. So it's not going to be owned by a party. We have a problem with when it comes to parties and politics.
Okay, let me just drag you back during the day of Jammeh era. Okay, let me look at it this way. Did you learn any lesson from NAC when Halifa came in? I could remember when you yourself in person contested with Amaba at Atlantic Hotel in Banjul, and Ahmed came in. Do you learn any lesson from all those segments? Because your focus now is 2016 coalition.
Of course, those are the lessons why some of us, as I say, now I am part of the custodian of this project. You see, I mean, like I just said, the issue of that trust, that is the elephant out of the room. Should Gambian people trust any person that we are selecting? So Gambian people think that that person would not behave like what President Adama Barrow did in 2016. Back to 2011, like you just said, we have learned. I was an independent candidate, you remember, during those days. And when we are saying that, we have studied and think of that, we cannot shortchange Gambians. We are not going to allow a flag bearer who will come and say, okay, you elect me from the coalition, and then you go in and start saying all the coalition projects, all what your frameworks or your agreements, they are all redundant. They are all, they don't have any value because I have the Constitution. This is where you are arguing. I'm saying that before you go for the Constitution, you must abide and agree in spirit and in principle that you are dealing with a coalition project, and that coalition project is being supervised and also is a thing that you have to implement what we agree. If you're not going to do that, we are not going to elect you as our flag bearer. It's clear. We know that the Constitution is out there. And we are also adding this, that if you go and betray the public trust, as I say, some of us, the custodian of the project, as you betray the public trust, we are going to tell the public to come down and regain their trust. And it's going to be a different ball game. Like you just say, this is not going to be a minor protest. It may be a bigger thing, a national thing, or God knows what. Because we dislike somebody who comes and abuses the public trust, who comes to office and start changing the whole ball game. If you're going to do that, why not do it during the coalition talks?
Okay, man. Look at it, that is, when Gambians were going against Jammeh, one of the most important components there was to end the longest stay in power, and the 2 times of presidential time limit should be more respected. Okay, Barrow is went beyond the 2 times that we all yearned for in 2016. Any change or any move that you are trying to make, or you just want to get him out of the ballot box station?
Yeah, of course. This is the mission. The mission, the coalition project, the mission is first of all, is to make sure we change the regime. But the mistake of 2016, because like we just said, Barrow was to be a transitional leader that has to fix a system, level the playing ground. So now what we are saying now is that our aim and objective is to make sure 25th December, in the next 4 months, let Barrow go. So what will happen is that our lesson that I say we just learned is that we cannot, governance has to be clear, has to change. A governance that will rebuild the institutions, not what I'm trying to say, a governance that will reform, and we will review every government activity to make sure Gambians, the beneficiary again. We have learned our lesson. This is going to be a new, different Gambia. This is not where we just say that we're going to put somebody in office just for the sake of change. I'm saying that we are going to raise the bar. Whoever is going to be in office, know that you are coming to deliver for the people. It is different from where you come and we try to babysit any president, or try to be, bootlickers, or trying to put it this way, sycophants. No. We are we are saying that all those who are there, me, you, everybody, you are here to make sure you serve the Gambians. If you don't serve the Gambians, you're going to have a problem, because that means that you are shortchanging, you did not tell us the truth. Why do you have to agree to all our frameworks, all our documents, let alone just to come as a president and decide that I'm going to govern and forget and throw away all this? If you do that, it's not gonna help you. And as I say, anybody who betrayed the public trust, some of us, as we all got, and a lot of Gambians follow, it's not only a president, they follow a lot of these things, we will tell the public to go down and then regain their trust. And in any way that can happen, it's gonna be a new, different dimension.
Thank you, sir, very much. This is focused on Gambia, and our guest in the studio today is former magistrate and lawyer Assan Martin. We will look at the Gambia front line now. We will be looking at the current state of the Gambia on the economic front. Tell me, what is the state of the economy? Hardship has taken over Gambia. Price hike has taken over Gambia.
Really?
So, where are we heading to now?
The Gambians are suffering. The hardship now today, like I say, the standard of living for an average Gambian, people are not even, the lowest paid people are not even earning more than $4,000, $5,000. That is a bad economy, 1. 2, the level of inflation that we are all suffering today, we have seen it in food pricing, in the travel cost, people living in the housing. These are all challenges for the average Gambian. So the cost of living is too high, but all is due to bad economic policies. You know, we don't have a proper economic policy. No, Gambia haven't got an economic plan for the next 5 or 10 years. Nothing is outlined. It's all inefficiency. It's all about governance. It's all about failure of leadership. So the economic minister, look, our importation policies, you know what, the trade balance between us and our neighboring countries, nothing is calculated. Much more, the worst thing that I am seeing is that the debt, which is going 120 to 220 billion dollars is, you know what I mean, the borrowing within the government, 50-something billion dollars is, these are things that we are suffering now. It's all about bad management, and Gambians have to review this. As I say, the more they keep this government here, the more we're going to have more hardship. Our natural resources today are all in jeopardy. Look at the fisheries. A lot of contracts have been given away to the foreigners. A lot of things has been outsourced. Fisheries, you go to the agriculture, the same thing. You go to the sand mining that we have seen. Go to Banyang, Sanyang, Batokunku, and all those things. The sand mining, where are we? So we have to review all these things. So we need a competent, good economist to come and help us, and also not only him, but a team will come to make sure we rectify this.
Darasi has fought to all major currencies down to the CFA. CFA. Nothing is working now. Even getting goods from Banjul to Dakar is a problem.
All under the failure of leadership.
The most important thing, Gambia has turned into everything. Forest Bureau is all over from Banjul to Kweda, even to the beach. You find a Forest Bureau. You have 13 commercial banks. You have a microfinance institution. What is going on? Is Gambia running towards money laundering country, or what are we heading?
Of course, we are even concerned, more or less, before I go into detail, is that, I mean, not only that, but the amount of influx of being a drug hub is our problem, because a lot of our youths are suffering because for this thing. But as you point out, if you look at the activity of trade within the sub-region and a lot of things that you mentioned, I mean, we have a problem when it comes to our economic sovereignty. You know, the importation, the goods that are being cleared, you know, even our tax, the duties that you paid for the imports of goods and so on and so forth, they all needs to be reviewed. You know, we have to have a tax reform. All these things is due to bad governance. It's true. Look, we have no personal problem with nobody. Me and you have no personal. It's the system that is not working for the people. Let's face it today. You cannot even afford, ID cards are not even available. Let's say the passports are very expensive for the ordinary person. I mean, look at our number plates, car number plates. You know, they are no more. You're only putting laminated papers on number plates. So are we a serious country? This is where now Gambia has to look at itself. Are we sustainable? You know, it brings back to what Beckley Rice was saying, the probable nation. Are we going to be a real nation? Are we going to be a probable? A probable means that we are on that balance, either to survive as a nation. You know, the conversation I have with somebody before coming here, he says that we are almost a failed state, and which is true. How many times have some of us has mentioned it? Institutions are what governs people, not the individual. But the lack of leadership, competency, and lack of effective and competent government, everybody is suffering. Today, the level of hardship in terms of goods, in terms of, you know, what we should be living with, you know, the government services, they are not coming the way it is. It is only in Gambia you may want to lease a compound, it takes you 4 years. You know, all these things that we have to look at, our land reform system, you know, the disputes, you know, all these things, we are challenged as a country, to be honest. If everybody look at it to the level of where you can evaluate what governance are, we are challenged.
Looking at the current state of the electricity in the Gambia, it's a big challenge. We have the car power ship that spends some years, and we're taking, according to the government, we're taking electricity from Senegal, and now it's on, off, here, there. What is your take on this? Are we really going to manage it? Because we have the OMV that was signed in Judicial years ago. We thought that coming with the OMV, the VG, I think things were going to be okay. That even everywhere you go, you will find electricity 24 hours. But now that has become another challenge for the Gambian people. And electricity today is everything in the world.
No, energy
is the war. You have a good energy system. You have a good people who want to invest in your country, but without that,
it helps the economy. Let me make it this way: it helps the economy. Gambia, we haven't got an energy security yet. if you are depending on a third source, you mentioned it already. We used to have this car power, where there was an intermediary. The Senegalese, we have to pay them how much we owe Senegalese, up to what, $12 billion is, or whatever, call it what, $300-400 million for electricity. Can we not be a country that can supply our own electricity? Can we not be a country that can have our own generators to give us more waxes and, a power supply, and cope up all this, load shedding? Like you just say, we are suffering every time. Lights off, lights. Look at the time we are in hard times, summertime. But it's even affecting the local businesses. Most of them, the small businesses, the medium businesses, they depend on energy, lights, the current, and everything. So as a nation, do we have even an energy policy? You have to have a vision whereby you want to say that I have to have enough, electricity, enough that reserve that you can use, whether it is through the generator system or the car power system, where it's, we don't have even wind turbines on anything. Gambia doesn't have any backup system. All what we depend on a third source, which is that we go to a neighboring country, we ask them, and they supply us, and we owe them money. It's a problem even in our sovereignty. Much more the issue of even we having now the Senegalese who are supplying us. But again, the Senegalese who are even coming, encroaching in our country. Recently we've seen what is happening in Bloc. All these things are challenging for this government. Can this government sustain itself? Can this government sustain our national territorial integrity? This is some of our concern. Barrow's failure is costing us a nationhood. This is a headline that people must see. It's costing us a nationhood. Imagine today we cannot even have our own defense security to national defense. We have to rely, some people coming into the country, bringing down a military barracks. Is that a respect to this country? Is that a respectful leadership that is ready to say that I will defend and protect a constitution? This is what most Gambians, I'm applying to the young Gambians to look at themselves. That we have a country that is challenged because of poor leadership, poor government. If not, to cut it short, all our agreements under our coalition agenda will be reviewed. Be the Alport agreement, be the A50 with the Senegambia bridge, be all the fisheries that we have given license, we will review everything. If I say everything, there will be a review commission to look at everything that happens under the Barrow regime. Because it's healthy for our democracy, it's healthy for governance, for us to do that. Otherwise, we will not be a nation that can sustain itself. A nation that cannot give ID cards for 10 months. Then where is our national document? Where is our national rights? So I want Gambians to think forward. But again, like I say, I respect where you say, the elephant in the room is the trusted leadership. This time around, our coalition is going to base on a trusted leadership. It's not about personality competition or X, Y, and Z or party or partisan. We are saying that whoever is going to do the job, you're going to do the job for Gambians. It's not going to be an easy job because our country is virtually sinking. We need a leader that can help us transform this country, a transformative agenda that can help us move us forward.
Once again, this is Focus in Gambia, and my guest today is lawyer Assan Martin, a former magistrate, a well media friendly man. Mr. Martin, I want to put this question to you. As a former magistrate and as a lawyer, how do you see the Gambia judiciary system and the release of 100 and plus prisoners that were pardoned by the government? Did they went through the process of pardon, or it was just a political pardon?
Well, today, our judiciary, thank God, 2 days ago, we had now the Chief Justice who was now retired. Another challenge now, the new Chief Justice is on the standby and the pipeline, depending on what the consultations and what it is. Realistically, if we look at the judiciary back 10 years, which is 2029, 2016 up to date, yes, some little changes have happened, but we should do more. We should do more. It's not about the slogan Gambianization of the judiciary, but there are a lot of backlogs. And there needs to know more judicial reform in judicial administration. When I say in judicial administration, meaning that the cases should be fast-tracked, the cases should not take time, more judiciary taking vacations. All these things, when there are a lot of backlogs of cases, we need to back up. We need to pull up our sleeves under the judiciary. We are challenged. And the issue here is that also, even the bar, we are also challenged. New people coming in about the ethics of the judiciary, lawyers, the way they work, lawyers in the society, is challenged. So judiciary alone, like I say, if you talk about the bench, and our experience back then in 20 years is different. Okay, if you look at it today, from Banjul to Koina, you have to have more magistrates, more judges to make sure they deal with cases. And they have to deal with it so that to fast track, there must be a performance contract mechanism, an evaluation mechanism to say that work is done. But the judiciary definitely is challenged. There must be more has to be done. As to the new potential Chief Justice that is coming, we had heard of a lot of talks. Particularly the Bar Association, we had also legal luminaries, the legal fraternity, XAY, and so on. For me, I believe that any person who has to come to be a next Chief Justice has to be a reformer, has to be somebody who can bring value to the judiciary. It doesn't matter whether the person has been there, as long as he understands the jurisprudence of this country, he understands the legal, the legal rules, the laws of this country, our constitution. Yeah, let the person come and add value. Let the coming person come and do work. Let him make a difference. As long as he has the qualifications, he should come and work. Yes, some people might say, oh, okay, he's not there, or he was not here, or so. But let it be a person who understands that you have to come and make a difference. You have to move the judiciary from another level to another level. This is what leadership is about. It's also, we are challenged with judicial administration. As I said, the works in the courts, how much work is being done there, how much paper system, the IT system of the, we're still depending on local ways of dealing with paperwork, documentation. We should modernize the judiciary. That is the one that I want. Anybody coming, modernize the judiciary, make it a first-class delivery system for people to have justice.
Okay, well, Gambia has been struggling with one big important problem in this country. That is the stadium. For the past year now, Gambians, we play all our matches out there. And Gambia want to chase our boys, go there and clap for them. We can see them. And money has been invested. I don't know what you have to say, because we are very soon we are going to start the qualifier round of the African Cup of Nations, which Gambia, I don't know whether we'll be playing.
We are not sure.
We are not sure. Yeah. And money has been invested. So what do you have to say about this?
It's sad for this country. Any nation, for 5 years, almost, you cannot play local games, international games, your own national stadium. How can you imagine you going to a World Cup? It's a serious disaster for the Ministry of Youth and Sports. It's a serious disaster also for the GFA. It's the truth. How many talented young people, how many clubs we have, and all those things. It goes to a point now, clubs are not paid. At the same time, clubs cannot even play their own football locally. It's sad for this country. 360 million has been pumped into that stadium, the National Stadium, Independent Stadium, for us to renovate, to be able to catch up, be a standard stadium to fit an international game for 4 years. And Gambia cannot have that. And how can you imagine Gambia goes to World Cup? Look at our performance. We only went to African Cup of Nations, I think only once. Twice. I mean, as a country, look at today, countries like Cape Verde, Mauritania, Bissau, they are even taking over. I mean, when we used to play, remember the Zone 2. But now, those countries now, how they are moving in their football system. Listen, and even the players up to, remember, I don't know, this player, Minte, who made that claim. And it's true, we stand by him. If you don't pay me, I don't know what was his comment. Was it that he says that if you don't pay me or whatever, we will not gonna play or football or whatever that the minted player. Yeah, because it's out of frustration. They should all account. They should review all these things. All these contracts and money should be reviewed. Are they taking this money, painting the stadium with red, white, blue, white, green, and saying that we have put a carpet? The next day we know that they come, FIFA come and evaluate, supervise, and assess, and say that you will not fit, and then they come back put what? It's a disaster. Youth and sports. The Gambia youth policy is a disaster. Our youths cannot survive on rubber. I can't see that. The youth employment rate, we have a problem. For us, we are suggesting that under this project, we will review ID cards for the youths, and also we will make sure that, youth employment. We have natural resources, but youth employment is very bad. I remember when they says that the Saudi Arabia project, and they also the Spain project, 50 youths, you see what happened. How can 10,000 people go for passport for 50 jobs? Are we a serious country? Let's make sure we get rid of this government. That is what I would advise Gambian youths. Come 2026 December, look at our project, a trusted leadership. Don't think of a party or a movement. You are thinking of somebody who is coming to rectify and reform. We want that reform agenda come. We're going to rectify the 2016 mistake. For some of us, there will be a team of custodians. This is what I want to guarantee Gambians. Your fear is that trusted leadership. For us, we are saying that some of us are not going to vie for office, but we're going to make sure that the flag bearer or the president who's going to lead you people, we're going to make sure he implements and does what the project says, which is to fix Gambia, to bring reforms, to make sure that institutions are governed, services will be delivered, jobs and everything. Watch out, we're going to bring a very radical agreement to flag bearer. He is not going to betray like what President Barrow did in 2016. We have been suffering. Anybody, as I say, any leader that comes to betray Gambians with the issue of betraying the public trust, some of us are ready to say that the public goes down on the ground and regain their trust. And that will be the end of that government.
Thank you so much, and we would like to give you a 2-minute summary in Mandinka and Wolof.
Well, Mandinka and Wolof, Abaraka, Kachale Keta, and then I'm very pleased with editor here, Mr. Musa, that at least Kachamin Keta just tenka for drum, Kuol Sutiandi. Kacha be mumindi amu political and economic issues and na banko be alhalo minto wolo muko. Na banko bi tonyalom, we have 4 months with an opportunity to put banko falling from this bad governance, which is California, the Mansakunda, Mia Lonka, Matamandi Anyama, because of failure of leadership. President Adama Barrow, I signed the tanke jande, so it's time for him to go. But this is an opportunity for Atol Gambian or Lonko, especially the youths and women. Signing political Mia Lonko Kanaka Nyone or political Bantale. I am the official spokesperson assigned to make sure the coalition talks be coalition talks nde mamota pour moy lead. I cannot do that. Na sembo mamfuta ka foko karile nyanta lead la o karile. Lafta ko koyni la jele. Nde manke he told them malebe kachala nto we are just there to manage it, to help nganye mako pour yena ila kachakono yena e kambeng. But in tolla do ko je amanke ko ndelega fo karile badi la karite la karite wo coalition kacha lafta ko clean coin dalma wolo muko nga kacha minke last week wolo muko jo question mo jama sanyi diamo siata ika fo party led long for independent candidate led minke taje nga kumayandi nga fenke wolo muko kabiri kacha majority in the room anen ko party ni movement or be ye mean for wolo muko na wale adopt wale be na press release to wolo muko it has to be a candidate led nga koindal ma wolo muko momo nyanta nyin coalition diamol coalition or be fende la party or mimbeje wolo muko ila party ko iba landira janale follow ite nala with your party colors wolo muko tumando you suspend your party membership or you resign from your party coming Minketa in 2016, President Adama Barrow. That is a formula that has been agreed. Akoitale. Ikafoko party or movement, will be nyanta d'accord la wala to way d'accord ta wala to nga koindi. So party do ye la position sotole we abitute to le bulu. I mean, wo dia mo nga koindi because whatever al halo to sign. Nada ni edito kachata wolo mo ko economically. Gambia bi albe ya jele batalum balunya albebe batari mobe ndolbelo. Marcel Tobe ko kolbe marsandiso minu kanajan economic policy bi na dep atatale economic bad governance wolo mu ko economic minister wolbe man tara do ko la nyim banko aton bebe siri ibe banko taylela agreement ol be aliya moy janne energy security masoto molbe batari al bebe kaspo wasana abe bebe da tole ko yarinde jio fanande da ko yarinde ni nata ibe bilo fenanda so nan lafta balula wo foto al continue ali si jabit president Adama Barrow al fala ko lungolum ngal manol kali jande nga manol kali molbe fala l'hôpital mo secondi lima buga wax moy rek ci tenka ci gatal moy ne rek yakar len coalition bi ñun ñu ci nekk ñun yox nañu role and assignments pour ñu dimbalé len ñu indi nit ñi wala ma wax la ñun demuñ bokku ne mënon ñu kenn da ñu yobbu rew mënon nañ fa nekk di karti but again dañ ci nekk di waxtaan te ñun waxtaan bi suñ liggéey mooy ñu mediate dimbale leen gars yi ñëw si waxtaan consensus wala ñu ñëw si compromise so that dégg la coow bi yëpp bëri na coow bi mooy lan kan moo bëgg a lead kan la ñoo jël lead and so on waaye ñun nag suñu wax ne passé nañ foofu ndax lii du affaire yi benn nit li ma bëgg a weer lifin mooy amin si la wàllu leen Gambia te lii waxtaan fii mooy affaire yi lu ñoo ooyee jamfa booy naka trust mooy affaire yi naka óolute gis nañ ne président yu bari soo leen falee rek dañ dee bàyyi yoon loolu moo ñu dal si président Adama Barrow dafa bàyyi yoon dégga rek la liñ fi waxoon lu bari nekku di ko dox musuloo dégga coalition 2026 manifesto musuloo dégga framework yëpp la jël mu sànni ñun nag dañ ne suñ waxtaani coalition talks yi kenn du fi agri ak ñun nga jël document yi ak framework yi nga sànni ko soo ko defee ñun liñ wax mooy soo buggee betray politique bi liñ doon wax noonu public betray if you betray the public trust public bi ñun dinañ taxaw ñun suñ boppa ñun de custodian to this project ñu wax public bi ñu ñëw wan ne yow nekkuloo si ku serious so amaat na dinañ am ay wéy bi nga xam ne dinañ génne fii sa nguur dafa leer second li wax nañ fi dëgg la mun nañoo wax ne d'accord naa fale ak coalition léegi nga war a dem court foofu it ñu ngi ko seet suñ waree yow président court mun nañoo agree ak yow sa nee ne wéefal sa immunity soo nekkee yow ku dëggu nga ku honest nga wéefal sa immunity mooy section 69 of the constitution ñu yóbbu la ñu wax la waxtaan la ne yow li nga jaare suñ ne ñun bëgguñ ku politique si 5 years d'accord lañ ne coalition bi loolu lañ d'accord ne bëgguñ ko politique dañ bëgg ku ñëw pour liggéey mu defar institution yi ñu am suñ laysin yi mu defar dunda bi defar yëpp da nga ñëw pour liggéey soo loolu nag definitely loolu lañ bëgga waaye soo ñëwee rek toog rek doo di politique di xëccafale di sampa di jël yooyu nag ñun dañ ne am na ñi nga xam ne ñu ngi leen a ooyee custodian ñi nga xam ne dañ leen dénk coalition 2026 bii nii mooy suñ tur so ñooñu ñun man si ñooñu laa bokka dañoo xool ndax yow miñ fal góor nga wala jigéen ndax yow yaa ngee dox yoon soo doxut yoon ñun ñu neñ parewaat pour wax leen ne ñun kii rek kuñ fal nii de doxut yoon loolu de ñun pare nañ ko te pare nañ pour dem ak ku nekk race to race sorry to say si loolu la ñoo dem waaw bëgguñ fi koo xam ne njiit boo xam ne da ngay ñëw di nax nit ñi falu rek fàtte déedéet ñi la fal moo tax dañ ne ñun ñuy waxtaan si coalition talks yooyu noonu d'accord nañ ne we are not going into a party led partisan politics because soo fi ne parti yëpp war a dem wala movement yi yëpp war a dem jóoru si benn parti d'accorduñ ci loolu liñ d'accord mooy kuy jiite lii sa parti colors da nga koo tegee fële ñu jël loo xam ne Gambien si yëpp dinañ si gis seen boppa ida nga suspend sa parti colors o nga resign sa parti comme ni président Adama Barrow def waaye gars yi liñ d'accord mooy ñoom lépp luñ d'accord mooy si room boobu noonu du man de ma wax ko mu leer moo tax nag ku ñoo joxeñ na bàyyi sa xel bu baax dafa ñeneen ñoo xam ne dañ foog ne xam nga nit ñi soo nekkee si public line bi ñu foog ne man may fal man faluma kenn man bokkuma si ñuy rees waaye su ma bëggoon su ma right anytime mun naa wax ne damay bokka but again li ma bëgg a wax mooy kuñ si fal dañ laa fal si leena sa parti da nga koo tegagum fale ñun dañ bëgg a leader boo xam ne da ngay ñëw nga liggéeyal nit ñi si juróomi at yoo xam ne doo def politique doo bokk si politique Gambia rek moo lay ñor doo change state house bi to political bureau dañ ko leeral dinañ la jox agreement yu garaaw sa fay sax dañ koy wàññi loolu da nga koy lu bari la ñoo teg et puis di nga def yu bari yi nga xam ne balaa ñu laa jël ñu teg la foofu noonu as a président si gàttal rek jërëjëf tey de gars yi voice ñoo mati thank you so much editor.
Thank you so much.